All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me.
You niggas ain't built like that.
Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man.
Niggas get killed like that.
Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man.
Blood'll get spilled like that.
Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man.
Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that.
You niggas ain't, you
niggas ain't built like that.
You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you round some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will beat a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw. They never deliver, they got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow, I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone, you ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga, you ain't got the heart. You ain't bout to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga, play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you
niggas ain't built like that.
Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man.
Niggas get killed like that.
Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man.
Blood'll get spilled like that.
Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man.
Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that.
Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man.
Niggas get killed like that.
Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man.
Blood'll get spilled like that.
Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man.
Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that.
All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. You niggas ain't.
Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, assessing looking likely. But I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, H-E-L-L, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking out lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke it with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in a pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins when my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. ill. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely. But I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet moms grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that she's speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it.
Shalom Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible. And we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. So, of course, the topic of the day, we're going to talk about how our oppressors are the original terrorists on the earth. You understand? Like, and you know, we like to talk about, I remember, what situation was it? They had that y'all remember that terrorist attack they had in Orlando?
At the homosexual club?
Yeah, kind of, at the homosexual club. They called that the worst shooting massacre in the history of America when that happened. That's what they called that, you know, when it was on the news. And so the thing is that to them, that may have been the worst shooting massacre that happened in the history of America. You understand? But that's far from the worst shooting massacre that's ever happened in American history. And the thing is that whenever you hear about American history, they always leave out the dirt. You understand? They always rinse off the blood. You understand? You know, your hands covered in blood, they rinse it off. You know, you still got a little bit of blood left on. You understand? But they always forget about the hundreds of thousands and millions of brothers and sisters that was murdered. You understand? And that's what we're gonna bring out today is one of the real first massive shooting to ever happen in America. You understand? And it happened to Native Indians. It happened to the Native Indians during what's called the Wounded Knee Massacre. You ever heard of the Wounded Knee Massacre? Okay, well, we about to bring it out. Bring out history involving Sitting Bull. You know how you heard of Sitting Bull and things like that? Okay, Sitting Bull, he was a powerful brother back in the day. You understand? He was a North American Indian, and he basically stood for his people against the white man. You understand? And so, you know, we're gonna bring out some parts of history and show you how biblically these are still today lessons that we need to understand as a people today in 2019, because we are the descendants of those people that was murdered, that was drowned, that was hung from trees. You understand? And the people that we live amongst today, those are the children of the people that murdered us and robbed us and hung us from trees. So we need to understand fully who we dealing with when we dealing with our oppressor. You understand? So for starters, I want to go in the Bible. You understand? I want you to go to Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. You understand? I want you to go to Psalms chapter 55 verse 20. Matter of fact, hold that. Go in the book that I asked you to bring out. I want you to read the title of that book for me, Bible Shop.
An Indian history of the American West. Buried my heart at Wounded Knee.
You understand? So this book we're about to bring out is a very, very heavy book because it goes into detail about situations that was happening around the time of this massacre that a lot of people don't know about. You understand? A lot of history involving some of the sayings that was told around that time. You understand? A lot of that history comes out of this book. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to page 148. 148 in this book. And there's a part that's highlighted. If you could read that for me, Bible Shop.
Come on, concept. Page 148 of Buried My Heart at Wounded Knee. We never did the white man any harm.
Read that again.
We never did the white man any harm.
You understand? What's some of the names they used to call the North American Indians? Go ahead.
Savages.
Savages. What else? Well, that was one of them. That was one of the main ones. They called them a savage. What's a savage? You understand? What is a savage? What does it mean to be a savage? Anybody in the chat know? Is anybody watching the chat?
So we got YAHANNA in the chat. Nobody type in the answer there.
Go ahead.
I'll let you know.
Go ahead.
Savage, a fierce animal.
A fierce animal. You understand? That's what they called the Gadites. They said that we was fierce animals. You understand? Said that we was fierce animals. They called us savages. But read that part again in the scripture, in this book right here.
Come on, concept.
Go ahead.
We never did the white man any harm.
But the white man calls our people savages. You understand? Called us savages. But we said it ourselves even back then. Said we never did the white man any harm. You understand? Read on.
Come on. We don't intend to.
We don't intend to. So the Native Americans didn't even intend to do the white man any harm. You understand? When these people came over to the United States, we had no ill will towards them. You understand? We weren't thinking to ourselves, we need to kill them, bury them in the backyard, and forget about them. You understand? Which we probably should have did.
Right.
Probably should have said, yeah, Mr. White Man, come on in. You understand? And made his life into a horror movie.
Right.
You understand? Yeah, come on in and went and scalped them behind the woods. You understand? Salaki, I gotta take this call, Salaki. All right, Salaki about that. Salaki, you read that last part again?
Come on.
Or read it from the top.
Yes, sir. We never did the white man any harm. We don't intend to.
So we never intended the white man to do the white man any harm when he came to America. You understand? We were peaceable people, but yet the white man wanted to call us the savages. Now you understand? Now here's the thing. why do you think he called us savages? You know, why on the news? Because think about it, they do the same thing to black people. They get on the news and they call us thugs and criminals. You understand? Why do you think that? Go ahead.
To degrade their image, to make them seem as they are evil people, to make them seem as if the white man is doing everything out of righteousness.
Okay, but all right, I'm looking for something a little deeper than that. Mardaki, you want to give it a shot?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Okay, why would the white man call Native Indians savages, and like the same way he does black people? Why does he call us thugs and criminals on the internet?
So like I said, could
Go ahead.
just to make themselves look like they're above us, as far as to like the other sentence as well too, is just to what's the word I'm looking for? As far as degrade, as far as, you know, like we're above and then they're below, and they are the natural born killers and we are innocent.
Okay. All right, so both of y'all kind of said the same thing. All right, so it is a little deeper than that. The reason why, think more in terms of propaganda. You understand? Like, you think about what propaganda is. What propaganda is say like if the Nazis, right? The Nazis had a goal in mind. Their goal in mind was to kill the Jewish people, the so-called Jewish man. That was their goal.
Right.
But in order to achieve that goal, you understand? Because people weren't just gonna be like, "Oh, y'all just ain't gonna kill my cousins." You know what I mean? I can't just let y'all go out like that. So what Adolf Hitler had to do was he had to put out propaganda to make them seem like they're the ones that are doing this. Look at them. They are the ones that commit all the crimes. They are the ones who scalping innocent white women. You know, they the ones that's doing all this. And so they do that to paint an image in the public's mind so that when they go to fulfill their bloodlust, it seems justified to the people. You understand? So them calling us that is propaganda. You understand? Calling us a savage, because clearly a savage is a wild animal. You understand? That's somebody that can't be contained. Somebody that will split your head for no reason. You understand? So that's what a savage is. But read that part again.
Yes, sir. Khan. We never did the white man any harm. We don't intend to.
Read on.
We are willing to be friends with the white man.
See, now that's where we messed up. That's where we messed up. You understand? Trying to be friends with the white man. You understand? Because here's the deal. This right here is going to prove to you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we should not join with white America. We should not join with our oppressors. You understand? We can't join with the same people that murder us. We can't join with the same people that oppress us and lock us in cages. You understand? That lie about that lie about us. You understand? And hold on one second. So all we wanted was peace with the white man. You understand? All we wanted was peace, but yet he wanted war. You understand? I want you to drop that. I want you to drop that real quick. And here's what we're gonna do. I want you to go in the Bible for me.
Concept.
You understand? I want to show you something in the Bible. Go to Psalms chapter 55 and go to verse 20. You understand? Here's the problem. You understand? We always want to love our oppressor. We always want to join our oppressor. You understand? And all in the Christian church, you understand? They got brothers cutting their beards off, shaving their heads,
Right.
dressing in skinny suit pants. You understand? Skinny pantsuits. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what you call them. They not suits to me. You understand? I don't know what you call them. You understand? But but you look at all the things at the Christian church. They try to sit up in that church like they just the holiest people of all holiness.
Right.
You understand? Like they just all love and hugs and kisses and hugs.
Right.
You understand? So they try to sit up there like they just sit in this place of righteousness. You understand? Meanwhile, they constantly push on our people to love our oppressors, to join, to better assimilate. They don't even use the word join anymore. Now they got a whole movement. UPK, we cutting dreads off because they unclean.
Right.
Because the Lord don't like us to follow that custom.
Right.
You understand? But they got a movement going on now where they talking about people cutting off their dreads to get a damn job. You understand? You cut your job. This is the thing about, Christian church, we'll do something. We'll do anything for a job. You understand? For a career. You understand? Sisters abort 15 babies
Right.
in the name of a career. You understand? And so, one second.
It's like I said, if I may.
Go ahead.
And half the time they abort their babies and don't even attend to be the things that they did it for. The career they chasing, they done killed the baby for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of different reasons why. It doesn't matter what the reason is. The reason is because they Christian pastor told them it was a good idea.
Right. You
understand? For them to just, that don't even make sense. Oh, you wanna have a good life? Kill your baby. Like what kind of sense do that make? You know what I mean? And then Planned Parenthood. Here's the thing about Planned Parenthood that people need to wake up to. They got Planned Parenthood in every black community in America. But then they had that poster. Somebody brother posted it on Facebook. Had a poster up. The white woman pregnant as I don't know what. She ain't abort no babies. You understand? So they promote to the white woman have babies.
Right.
But to the black woman, kill your baby. You understand? These are the reasons why, the many reasons why we should not join with our oppressors. You understand? We join with our oppressors. The only thing we doing is smiling, waiting on the meat grinder. Because that's literally what happens to a baby. They get grinded up like a cheeseburger. You understand?
Right.
That's a literal meat grinder. We literally grinding ourselves in the meat grinder. You understand? So the thing is that we, even today, 2019, black people are a people that seek to have peace with the white man. We still seeking peace. You understand? We go to protest, but what kind of protests do we have typically? We have peaceful protests. You understand? Because we want to have peace with America. We want to have peace with our oppressors. You understand?
Right.
So we follow the format of people like Martin Luther King. You understand? Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. You understand? Now we to the point now with black people, we don't even have no civil rights leaders. It seems like the only civil rights leaders even doing anything right now is the LGBT community. The LGBT community.
Right.
Them the only ones who fighting for anything right now. You understand? So with all that being said, you understand we have a history in America of being the victims of terrorism. We've been victims of terrorism for 400, 500 years.
Right.
You understand? Imagine what the Puerto Ricans went through when Christopher Columbus arrived. Was that not terrorism?
Right.
By the exact definition? Look at the definition of terrorism.
Concept.
You understand? What's the definition of terrorism? Go ahead and read that.
Terrorism, the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
You understand? The pursuit of political aims. So let me ask you a question. Was the murder of North American Indians not violent? Was that not an act of violence?
Right.
You understand? Is murder legal in any country? It ain't legal in no country. I've never heard of a country that said, "Oh yeah, you come over here, kill all the ones you want."
Right.
I never heard of that country.
Never.
You understand? But it's illegal to murder someone. You understand? So now the political. What was the rest of that definition? Read the rest of that definition for me.
COMCAST. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims.
Political aims. From sea to shining sea, the United States of America is a terrorist organization.
Right.
You understand? The whole damn country is a terrorist organization. You understand? The foundation of America was built on terrorism.
Right.
You understand? That's why our oppressors do it so good. They do it so much better than any other nation on the earth. You understand? Well, how do we know this? Look at their success rate. You understand? Let's look at the white man's success rate in a terrorist attack. He always make it to jail. You understand? I don't think I don't think them Arabs, they don't even make it out the plane. You understand? They don't even make it out the suicide bomb. You understand? They best plan is a suicide bomb. They at least sacrificing themselves in the name of whatever they worship. You understand? But the white man, I mean, he go up in a motel and loaded up with AR-15s and AK-47s and shoot 400 people. You understand? And just sitting up there busting and don't nobody even know what's going on. You understand? Because the white man, he is the murderer that's on this earth.
Right.
You understand? He is the one he is the terrorist on this earth. You understand? So read this scripture when you got it.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20.
Go ahead.
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
He does what?
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
So the North American Indians, they tell you in this book, out their own mouth, that we was trying to have peace with the white man. We didn't even intend to do the white man any harm. You understand? But we all know what happened to the North American Indians.
Right.
Read that scripture again from the top.
Come on, sir. Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
You understand? He put forth his hand in violence. He commit acts of violence against those that seek to have peace with him. That's the mentality of our oppressor. You understand? He's not looking for someone who has a problem with him. You understand? That's on the back burner. But who he wants to have war with is the ones that don't want no problems.
Right.
You understand? That's like a bully. Like a bully. Bullies don't bully people that can beat them up. Bullies bully people that don't stand a chance.
Okay.
You understand? So I want you to read on.
Come on, sir. He hath broken his covenant.
He did what?
He hath broken his covenant.
You understand? The white man he's broken every single agreement that he's made with the North American Indians. Right. Every single treaty that he's made with the North American Indians, he broke that treaty. You understand? Even the civil rights movement, we so-called was fighting for equal rights. You understand? When really the civil rights movement started, we didn't care about shopping at Walmart. You know what I mean? Going to what's some of the other white stores that's going to CVS, Walgreens.
Right.
Dillard's. We didn't give a damn about Dillard's. You understand? What we gave a damn about is this white man go down in that cave and bring up rocks for $20 an hour. I go down in that cave and bring up rocks for $6 an hour. I want equal pay.
Right.
That was the civil rights movement. That was the beginning of the civil rights movement. It was the push cart workers in Chicago that started the civil rights movement. And then somehow it went from we wanted to get paid the same amount to we want to shop at Dillard's. So now we shopping at Gucci, Louis, Prada, Fenty, you understand, Louis Vuitton, I get confused between Louis Vuitton or Louis Vuitton. I don't know. They both Louis Vuitton. If you ask me. They got the red one and the brown. That's it. You know what I mean? But now, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at you know, our people. We all we wanted was peace. That's what black people wanted. And while we peacefully marching down the street, you had devils setting roadblocks. Like, I laugh about it because I can't help but laugh about it. Because who idea was this? You understand? Like, damn, Martin. Like, you drove people into gunfire, literally. Had brothers and sisters driving through roadblocks with machine guns and tear gas. You understand? In the name of loving the white man. Right. You understand? When they clearly did not want your love. They didn't care about your peace. You understand? And so they put together the civil rights, what was it called? The civil rights, when they passed civil rights. There was a lot of laws in it. You know, black people looked at it as a victory. Oh, yes, now we can shop at Dillard's. But see, what a lot of people don't know is that the Civil Rights Act impacted a lot of housing laws. So now, prior to the Civil Rights Act, if I bought a house and the bank gave me a loan, after I paid off that loan, that was my house. Nobody could come and kick me out that house unless I didn't pay my taxes. After the Civil Rights Act, they changed the law to where even if you pay that bank completely off with interest, the bank forever owns the house. You understand? So what ended up happening, fast forward to when Barack Obama was president, you had the real estate collapse and thousands of black people lost their homes. And I'm talking black people that's worked 50 years at a plant job to pay off their house, paid it off and think they about to pass it down to their grandchildren. And then the bank that they got that original loan from shut down and the government seized their home, because when the bank shut down, the government seized everything that belonged to the bank. Everything that's considered the bank's property is now government property. Right. So hundreds of thousands of black people ended up losing their homes as a result of this. And we thought the civil rights was a victory. We thought that was the agreement. We shook on it. Meanwhile, the white man signing contracts. Like, yeah, we shook on it, but this is the real deal. You understand? So we got duped again in civil rights. Right. And why did we get duped again? Because black people didn't understand this concept here. Read that last line in that scripture.
Come on, concept. He have broken his covenant.
And see, if black people knew that during civil rights, we would have never tried to push for the Civil Rights Act. You understand? We wouldn't be pushing to try to change laws and try to. The most ridiculous thing I ever heard was people saying changing it from the inside. You're gonna be a cop to make cops better? Nah, you're gonna become a cop and you're gonna do just like all the other cops do. Right. Murder black people and Hispanic people and Native Indian people. You understand? I want you to drop that. And what I want you to do is I want you to go into back into that book. I'm gonna bring out some more stuff for you. I want you to go to page 170, Baba Kashad. Page 170.
Come on, concept.
And read where it says Yellow Bear. Read that when you got it.
Come on, concept. Page 70 of Burn My Heart at Wounded Knee. Mm-hmm. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee Salaki.
Go ahead.
Yellow Bear of the Arafas also agreed to bring his people to Fort Cobb. A few days later, Tazawad brought in his first band of Salaki Comanches to surrender. When he was presented to Sheridan, Tazawad's eyes brightened. He spoke his own name and added 2 words to the broken English. Tazawad, good Indian. He said, it was the General Sheridan uttered the immortal words.
Hold on, real quick. So what this is this is Yellow Bear's account of a brother that was turning in other natives to the fort. You understand? And what they were saying about him was they were saying that he's a good Indian. You understand? Read on.
Come on, sir. It was then that the General Sheridan uttered the immortal words.
And this is when General Sheridan, the general in the army, made this quote. And it's a famous quote because of him. Read on.
Saying, the only good Indians I ever saw were dead.
Read it again.
The only good Indians I ever saw were dead.
Read it again.
The only good Indians I saw were dead.
You understand? This right here resonate with me so heavy because think about all the brothers and sisters that talk about that white friend.
Right.
You understand that they got that white friend. I got a white friend. He's a cool white guy. That's a cool white boy. Well, listen, this right here is on the hearts of them white boys. Read that again.
Come on, sir. It was then that General Sheridan uttered these immortal words. The only good Indian I ever saw were dead.
You understand? Just like how that devil walked into that Walmart and shot them brothers, them Hispanic brothers and sisters, because he thought the same way.
Right.
He thought the only good Hispanic is a dead. The only good Hispanic I ever seen was dead.
Right.
Just like Dylan Storm Roof thought. The only good niggas I ever seen was dead.
Right.
You understand? Because this is what's on the hearts of them white boys. This is what's on the hearts of our oppressors. You understand? And we not supposed to. And the Christian church, this just goes to show you how diabolical they are, because they understand this. They grew up in the same country we did.
Right.
Grew up with the same parents, suffered the same oppression we did. This is the difference. The difference is that we love our own brother,
Right.
while they love themselves, and they love themselves so much that they could care less about their brother if it helps them to get more from the white man.
Right.
You understand? Read. Is there anything else on that?
La I.S.U.P. La I.S.U.P.
Okay. So this General Sheridan, you know, he made this quote famous. You know how they say you ever seen in the cowboy movies, they say only good Indians are dead Indians.
Right.
You understand? That's the one who made that quote famous.
So this the guy.
That's the guy, General Sheridan.
General Sheridan.
You understand? That's a devil. That is a disgusting devil that murdered thousands of Native Indians. Go ahead.
And like you were saying about the Westerns, they still take pride in these Western TV shows. They'll show the same thing you was talking about. They'll say the same things, and they'll show the white man taking over the Indians' land like it's all good. Still got it on TV, just like for pride for the older white folks to look up to get bloated off of.
Right. That's the thing. Like a lot of older white folks used to love Westerns. They used to love Westerns because they could relive them days where they were thought of as the hero for killing North American Indians. You understand? Just like how cops is paraded as heroes when they kill black Americans.
Right.
Just like how George Zimmerman sold the gun he used to shoot Trayvon Martin with for $250,000. $250,000. That's the type of oppression that we are under in America. You understand? That's the type of person that we are being oppressed by. You understand?
Yes, sir. Come.
So this is the history. You understand? This is history that I'm bringing out. And the reason why I'm bringing out this history is because it's important, especially in these days.
Right.
You understand? Because the reason why is because I fear for those brothers and sisters that have to go out. You know, I fear for my rib every day she had to go to work. You understand? And drive past some devil. You understand? And a lot of these devils, they could have just lost their job, lost their rib, lost their house and everything, and just one day decide to just kill 10 people on the highway.
Right.
You understand? Because that's the mind of our oppressor. He's a murderer. You understand? So I want you to drop that. All right? I want you to go to Salaki, I don't mean drop the book. Yeah, we're gonna go in the book. I want you to go to page 442, Baba Kashab.
Concept.
Page 442. And we're gonna start at the part where it says the following morning.
Concept. Page 442 of the book Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee.
Go ahead.
The following morning, there was a bull called, said Wazamaza, one of the Bigfoot's warriors, who years afterwards was to change his name to Dewey Beard. Then I saw the soldiers mounting their horses and surrendering us. It was announced that all men should come to the center for a talk.
You understand? So here's the deal. When they, after they had took all the Gadites to, not all the Gadites, but they took this tribe to Wounded Knee. You understand? And at Wounded Knee, you had brothers and sisters that was armed. They had all their belongings with them. They basically had to pack up all their stuff, and they had to walk on foot, and they just happened to get to Wounded Knee. And this is where they settled at for the time. Read on.
Concept. It was announced that all men should come to the center for a talk, and that after the talk, they were to move on the Pine Ridge Agency. Bigfoot was brought out of his teepee and sat in front of his tent, and the older men were gathered around him and sitting right near him in the center. After issuing hard tack of breakfast rations, Colonel Forsyth informed the Indians that they were now to be disarmed.
They were to be what?
Disarmed.
So they were now to be disarmed. You understand? Now this part right here, this is one thing I got to say about the Christian church. You understand? I'm just going to make this point about the Christian church. The Christian church, it's almost like, it's kind of like they use gangs as an excuse, or black on black violence as an excuse for us to put our guns down, to not want a gun. You understand? Some Christians are so terrified of guns that they'll damn near use the bathroom on themselves when they see one. You understand? I mean, just some Christians are just terrified just at the thought of a gun. You understand? But the thing is our oppressors is doing what with guns? They teaching their kids how to use guns. You understand? They teaching their children how to break down a whole fire. Y'all seen that video on Facebook of that little 5-year-old boy at the gun show? Man, it's a video of this little 5-year-old devil. No, he was 4 years old. Salaki, he's a 4-year-old devil. And the reason why the cameraman seen, like it was a news lady there, and they seen how excited and how good this 4-year-old can handle this boat. It was a boat action rifle he was playing with. He was at the lady walked up to him. He said that cocking the gun, pulling the trigger, popped the magazine, put the magazine back in, cocked it, didn't cock it right, and figured out what he did wrong and fixed it, and he pulled the trigger and it went bang. You understand? 4 years old, he know how to break down a bolt action rifle. Go ahead.
So like I said, I actually saw a person teaching their young how to use guns physically.
Right.
I was working in a food stand one day, and we took off to some little government facility. Mm-hmm. All I saw was Edomites out there. No Israelites out there, but Edomites at young ages holding shotguns, throwing little frisbees in the air, shooting them. I mean, they were so clean with it. And I thought to myself then, like they planted something. They planted something.
Right. Oh, well, I can tell you what. We got a video on the South Carolina page that you can go back and look up where I did a breakdown. I pulled an article that did the research on why people buy guns. And one of the reasons that why a lot of people buy it, broke it down by demographics. Most black people buy a gun, maybe to defend themselves.
Right.
Maybe to hunt with. Most white people are buying guns in preparation of a race war. You understand? And I brought that out and brought out that same scripture where it says he put forth his hand against such as be at peace with them. Black people ain't out here buying guns by the thousands in preparation for a race war, because we peacefully protesting trying to join with the white man.
Right.
You understand? Well, our Christian leaders got us handed over on a silver platter for somebody who is prepared to go to all-out war. You understand? So the thing is that, you understand? So I say that to say this. These brothers and sisters was ordered to put their guns down. You understand? They was ordered but to put their guns down. They was going to be disarmed. Read on.
They were now to be disarmed. They called for guns and arms, White Man said. So all of us gave the guns, and they were stacked up in the center. The soldiers, chiefs, were not satisfied with the number of weapons surrendered, and so they sent details of troopers to search the teepees.
You understand? So here we are. We already don't want no problems. We just handed over all our guns. But the thing is that these devils wanted blood so bad. They was like, oh nah, they still got some stuff. They still got some tweezers somewhere tucked away in their teepees. And they sent men to go and search them. Just like how COs go and search the jail cells in the prison.
Right.
Read on.
They would go right into the tents and come out with bundles and tear them open. Dog's chief said. They brought out axes, knives, and tent stakes, and piled them near the guns.
Read that last part again.
They brought out axes.
What is an axe used for? Not a tomahawk. What is an axe used for?
Axe.
You can use it to chop somebody. You understand? You can use it to chop somebody. But what do people use an axe for? Go ahead.
Just tear down a tree, right?
To cut down a tree. See. And what is it? And what else do they have?
Knives.
Knives. You know, what are knives used for? Go ahead.
Normally for cooking purposes.
You know, for cooking purposes, you know, or for cutting purposes. You can't just rip the buffalo skin with your hand when you're making your clothes. You know, you need some type of blade or something. You know what I mean? Which we in the wild west. You know,
Right.
You worry about a knife. You know what I mean? Read on.
And tent stakes.
And tent stakes. What's a tent stake for? They lived in tents. You understand? They made them take the tent stakes out the ground. You understand? Just to hand them over because the white man was so terrified. Like, think about how many times when the police kill a black man, what is the justification for it? What's the justification for it? I'm asking the question. What do they say is the justification whenever a cop kills a black man? Go ahead.
The white man, the police officer loved to say it was a self-defense action.
Right.
It's like you said yourself.
Yeah, because self-defense, because what he says is that he feared for his life.
Right. Cut on
You understand? For fear of life, a white man will murder anything walking. You understand? And for fear of life, you understand? He's in such fear of people that don't want nothing but peace.
Right.
He's in so much fear. You understand? Almost like the white man just couldn't believe it. Like, you can't just want peace. You want peace with me? I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, think about what kind of monster this is that we're dealing with. You understand? Read on.
And piled them near the guns.
And piled all the axes, the tent stakes, and the knives right there beside the guns. After they just already collected all the guns.
Right.
You understand? They just collected all the guns. I want us to do the math. We're going to add up, do some additions. The Gadites don't have no guns.
No guns.
They just took all the guns. Now they took all the axes, all the knives, and anything that could be used as some type of sticking utensil. If you could stick them with it, they want it out of there. Read on.
Still not satisfied.
Still not satisfied. You understand? Think about that, man. You understand? Still not satisfied. You understand? I can relate to that. You know, think about how many times you go to, if you ever been in jail, how many times you get searched. Like, damn, you already searched me one time. You know, and you know I ain't got nothing. I'm purposely not doing nothing because I don't want to get searched.
Right.
You understand? So think about it. The white man just took all the Gadites' guns, all the axes, all the knives, all the tent stakes. Read on.
Still not satisfied.
Still not satisfied.
The soldiers' chiefs ordered the warriors to remove their blankets and submit to search for weapons.
Look at that. Still like, nah, y'all carrying something. Something ain't right. White man just paranoid. You understand? Like, take your blankets down. So he took their blankets, took their guns, took their axes, took their knives, took their tent stakes, and now he taking their blankets. Read on. And keep in mind, it's a dead of wintertime. They standing outside in the snow. It's snowing right now while all this going on. And they standing outside. Read on.
The Indians' faces showed their anger.
Yeah, they getting mad now. You understand? Think about it. You done already took out. You asked us for the guns. We handed them over. Didn't even put up a fight. Didn't throw a rock. You understand? You wanted to search our homes after we just handed over all our guns and took our axes, our knives, and our tent stakes. We like, all right, well, they tripping now. Go ahead. We ain't tripping. Go ahead. You got it. Now they like, nah, y'all take them blankets off. So now, you know, the guy is like, man, hold on, man. Y'all just took all our guns. You took all our knives. What more do you want? It's cold out here. It's wintertime.
Right.
You understand? You want us to take off our blankets and freeze to death? For what? Because you paranoid?
Right.
If you don't go on somewhere, man, we hungry, we ready to cook, we about to go to bed, man. Read on.
Their anger. But only the medicine man, Yellowbird, made an overt protest. He danced a few ghost dance steps and chanted one of the holy songs, assuring the warriors that the soldiers' bullets could not penetrate their sacred garments.
You understand? Now that right there was the Gadites version of Christianity.
Right.
You understand? That is Gad's Christianity right there. Like, they did that little spirit dance talking about the bullets ain't gonna hurt them. You understand? That's that Christianity, man. You understand? Read on.
The bullets would not go towards you, he chanted in I.S.U.P.K.
But they knew they was about to get shot up. And he knew it. The medicine man knew it, and everybody knew it. They knew what was about to happen. They knew that these people was about to gun us down. You understand? Read on.
The prairie is large and the bullets will not go towards you. The troopers found only 2 rifles. One of them a new Winchester belonging to a young minor Joe named Black Coyote. Black Coyote raised the Winchester above his head. He raised the Winchester above his head.
Now Black Coyote was deaf. Now they searched him. He got a brand new rifle, young man. I can see that happen. He like, shit, this is my brand new shit. Yeah, so like, excuse my language, but he like, you know, this is my brand new, you know what I mean? But then again, he was deaf. So he probably didn't even hear him say, yeah, y'all bring all your guns up here. He just looking at like, why y'all taking y'all guns up here? He deaf. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna hear what you're saying. So Black Coyote was deaf. He couldn't hear nothing. But he, at this point, he understands, I need to put my gun down, but he puts his gun over his head. Read on.
Black Coyote raised his Winchester above his head.
Above his head. You don't shoot nobody like this. You understand? You don't. You ain't about to pow. That ain't how you use a rifle. Right. You understand? And the white man knew this. He knows this. You understand? That's what's about to happen. Is no different than what happens in every ghetto across America when the police show up. Police yell gun, and it's a wrap. And you notice when the cops do it, you notice that they shoot everything at them. It could be one man with maybe a 22. They shooting ARs, shotguns, 9mm. They dumping the clips. Brothers getting shot 80 times. And he might have not had nothing but a slingshot. If that, might have had an inhaler. I mean, you can probably Google stories and find brother pulling out his wallet, bam, dead, gun. Thought he had a gun. Brother pull out his inhaler, boom, dead. Thought he had a gun. You understand? Now Black Coyote has a gun, but he has it over his head. Read on.
Winchester above his head, showing that he paid much money for the rifle and that it belonged to him.
Hey, he cited the code. He's like, yeah, I paid a lot of money for this.
Right.
It belonged to me. You understand? But he holding it up like I don't want no problems. But yeah, you don't understand. Read on.
Some years afterward, Dewey Beard recalled that Black Coyote was deaf.
Read it again.
Some years afterward, Dewey Beard recalled that Black Coyote was deaf.
You understand? Black Coyote was deaf. Couldn't hear nothing. Couldn't hear. You could be talking to him dead in the face. And he can't hear a word you saying. Read on.
If they would have left him alone, he was going to put his gun down.
Read that again.
If they would have left him alone, he would have put his gun down.
So Black Coyote was gonna put his gun down. He was gonna put it. He had his gun over his head. You understand? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that like a sign of surrender?
Come on, come.
When you're in an army and somebody come out with their gun held up like this, ain't that like a sign of surrender?
Come on, come.
So this man showing him a sign of surrender. Read on.
Come on, come.
And he's deaf on top of that. Read on.
Putting his gun down where he should. They grabbed him and spinned him.
And so they grabbed him. He got a gun in his hand. Instead of letting him put the gun down, they grab him. They start tussling with him. Read on.
And spinned him in the east direction. He was still unconcerned even then. He hadn't his gun. He hadn't his gun pointed at anyone.
He didn't have his gun pointed at anybody. This brother didn't have his gun pointed at anybody. Read on.
His intentions was to put the gun down.
His intentions was to put the gun down. Just like you seen that video that just came out about that brother that was by the car that was putting his gun down as the cop was shooting him they said put the gun down. As he's putting the gun down, they start shooting. You understand? This is the same scenario right here. This is why I said that even in 2019, we are the children of these people.
Right.
And they are the children of the people that murdered our forefathers.
Right.
And the same way they murdered these brothers and sisters is the same way they murder blacks, Hispanics every day, right now in 2019.
Right. They came on and grabbed the gun that he was going to put down. Right after they spun him around, there was a report of a gun was quite loud.
There was a report of a gun, basically meaning that a gun went off. You understand? A gun went off.
Quite loud.
Quite loud. You know, you ever heard a gun go off? They quite loud. You understand? Go ahead.
I couldn't say that anybody was shot, but following that was a crash. It sounded much like the sound of tearing canvases. That was the crash. Rough Feather said, afraid of the enemy, described it as a lightning crash.
A lightning crash. This is what happened after that gunshot.
Right.
You understand? It sounded like a crash. You understand? That's the only way he could describe it. Because this is how many guns went off at one time at a group of unarmed Native Indians. Read on.
Turning Hawk said that Black Coyote was a crazy man and a young man of very bad influences and in fact a nobody. He said that Black Coyote fired his gun immediately the soldiers returned fire and indiscriminated killing followed.
Which is a lie, because they already said that he didn't have his gun pointed at nobody.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
In the first seconds of the violence, the fire of the carbines was deafening.
It was what?
Was deafening.
Said that the first shots rang out, it was deafening. Meaning that them shots came off so loud that everybody in that field went deaf for a second. Couldn't hear nothing. You understand? Read on.
They were shooting out there.
Oh, they about to get into
The
it.
carbines was deafening.
Carbine.
Carbines
That's
was deafening.
a rifle.
Carbines.
Go ahead.
Come. Filling the air with powder smoke.
Go ahead.
Among the dying who lay sprawled on the frozen ground was Bigfoot. Then there was a brief lull in the rattle of the arms, with small groups of Indians and soldiers grappling at close quarters, using knives, clubs, and pistols.
You understand? Because some of them guys was fighting back in the midst of all that.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
They seen all them guns going down. They seen children. And here's the deal. It was only 150 men that was in this group. But there was over 350 people out there. That means it was 200 people that was just women and children. Majority of the people in this crowd was women and children. You understand? Read on.
As few of the Indians had arms, they soon had to flee. And then the big Hotchkiss guns on the hills.
You know what a Hotchkiss gun is?
Lies.
You ever seen that movie Saving Private Ryan?
Lies.
You seen that movie? At the end of the movie, you know when they fight in the army tank?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see these boys come out with the gun on wheels,
Right.
and they was cranking it.
Oh, kind of a
It's a
concept.
Gatling gun?
Yeah, it's a Gatling gun. It's the Hotchkiss gun was the one they used to turn. And listen.
1,000 bullets a second, ain't it?
Yeah, they shoot big numbers and they shoot big bullets, shoot 30 caliber bullets. And when it hits you, if you ever seen that movie, that's why I wanted to get that visual. Because when that bullet hits you, it knocked arms off, legs off, heads off. You get hit in the torso, getting hit in the waist, you cut in half. You understand? That's the type of firepower that they shooting at the Native Indians. They not only are they shooting rockets, not rockets. Not only are they shooting rifles, but they shooting Gatling guns. Read on.
And then the big Hotchkiss gun on the hill opened up on them.
Opened up on them. Meaning that thing just went crazy for a second. Just dumping bullets just endlessly into this group of people. Read on.
Firing almost a shell a second.
Almost a shell a second. Now that was fast back in them days.
Kind
A bullet a second, because keep in mind, we're going from the time where you go pow, pull out the little gunpowder.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you gotta pack it down in there with the stick. Then you gotta put the pellet in there. Then you gotta cock it back again and then pow. Go ahead.
No, I know what
Oh
you're
yeah.
talking about.
So we went from that to now they got this Hotchkiss gun that shoot a bullet a second. So it's like bang, 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 and it's a big caliber. You understand? It's a 30 caliber shell. You understand? That's what they use in the helicopters now. The little attack helicopters.
of
They use 30 caliber Gatling gun shells in them. You understand? Read on.
Firing almost a shell a second.
It's in today's term, it's an anti-aircraft machine gun. It's not even made to fight against people. It's made to fight against vehicles. Read on.
A shell a second. Raking the Indian camps, shredding the teepees, and flying sharpeners, killing men, women, and children.
Killing who?
Men, women, and children.
You understand? So these people was killing men, women, and children. You understand? And it's because of that. That's why we should not be surprised at how our oppressors deal with the Hispanic children. You understand? How we should not be surprised by how they deal with black children. You understand? They'll tell a black person quick, we're gonna lock you up in prison, and don't worry about your kids. We're gonna take good care of them in orphanage where they get molested till they're 18 years old and get out the orphanage and be crazy as I don't know what.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
We tried to run, Louis Weasel Bear said, but they shot us like we were buffalo.
They did what?
But they shot us like we were buffalo.
You understand? That's how you know that that's our brother, the North American Indian. Say they gun them down like buffaloes, we say they shoot us down like dogs. You understand? That's our brother, man. The North American Indian and black people share their history together. We share this oppression together. You understand? Read on.
I know there are some good white people.
That right there was the Christianity slipping out this
Right.
You understand? Saying that there are some good white people. You understand? But remember what General Sheridan said. He said the only good Indian is a dead Indian. You understand? So that's what a good white man, that's what a good white person still think, that the only good Indian is a dead Indian. That the only good Negro is a dead Negro. Read on.
I know there are some good white people, but the soldiers must have been mean to shoot children and women. Indian soldiers.
So go read that part again.
I know there are some good white people, but the soldiers must have been mean to shoot children and women.
See that's just that what they call it, Stockholm syndrome. You understand? They still trying to defend the man that just murdered innocent women and children, men, women, and children, unarmed men, women, and children. Read on.
Indian soldiers would not do that to white children.
They will read that part again.
Indian soldiers would not do that to white children.
You know, the reason why Indian soldiers would not do that to white children is because Indian people are one of the most righteous people on this earth. You understand? Black Negro people that went through slavery, we are the most righteous people on this earth.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because we would not do that to a people's children. But we are living on an oppressor that would do that to children. That's why our oppressors are the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right. That's right.
Read on.
I was running away from the place and followed those who were running away, said Hakatawan. Another of those young women, my grandfather and my grandmother and brother were killed as we crossed the ravine.
You understand? So they trying to run for their life, and they still get murdered. You understand? They stay trying to run. They got their back to the white man. We just trying to get out of here, and you know why? Because it ain't about them guns. It ain't even about that one shot that cracked off.
Right.
One shot crack off. Whoever shot the shot.
All of them.
Go ahead.
Whoever shot that shot gonna take out all of them. They're gonna take out every last one just off that one sound.
Right, that one sound. It probably wasn't even a gun. It doesn't account who actually shot first. You understand? But here's the deal. I don't think that the brother was dumb enough to shoot off a shot after all his people just put all their guns down. And everybody know what's about to happen. And he gonna crack off a shot. You understand? That brother would not be that simple to do that. You understand? To basically cause the slaughter of all his people. You understand? That brother would not do that. You understand? In fact, anytime that a black person gets killed by a cop, anytime that a black person gets killed by the cop, who shoots first?
Cops.
The cops shoot first. You understand? They don't sit around and wait for no gun to crack off. I ain't never seen it.
Right.
You understand? I hear gun, pow, 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 pow. That's what the white man do. You understand? They don't sit there and be like, he got a gun, wait, hold up, he pointing, wait a second. They don't do that. Because we don't live under a righteous oppressor. We live under a wicked oppressor. You understand? I want you to drop that out.
No concept.
I want you to go to Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. You understand? They killed 350 men, women, and children at Wounded Knee. You understand? Slaughtered them. Shot them down, like in their words, shot them as if they was buffalo. You understand? Murdered that whole field. If you look it up, I employ every Israelite to go and look this up. Go on Google Images, just type in Wounded Knee. You're gonna see pictures. Because think about it, this all happened in the dead of winter. Mm-hmm. And they said in the book that the ground was frozen. You had bodies that laid in that dirt, in that ice for days. You understand? Bodies face down. You understand? Grandmamas spread, legs blown off from the Hodgkin's gun. You understand? Kids, pieces of kids, all the TPs shredded. You understand? All this laid waste for days. They didn't even clean it up. Read on.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33.
You understand? So here's the deal, right? A lot of people like to say, oh, it's in the past. get over it, it's in the past. You understand? But here's the deal. You can't sit here and charge somebody for a crime. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, the Christian church, they love to put black men on child support. They love to be unforgiving. They love to put black men in prison. You understand? They don't forgive nothing. You owe a Christian some money. Owe a Christian $5. You is not gonna forget that $5. You know what I'm saying? And they not either. Even when you pay it back, you gonna always know. They gonna always let you know that they let you borrow that $5. Right. You understand? A Christian don't forgive nothing. You understand? I heard a Christian the other day on a song. There wasn't no preaching, man. This is one of them Christians that be hyped up at the church. You know, every Christian a pastor when they get out of church. Right. You know, they get up on there and that Christian boy, I ain't had I was thinking today and you know how the Christians get to talking when they in that little spirit they got. You know what I'm saying? So the Christian was talking about if you're in a relationship and you feel like you can have more, then you should not settle for the person that you with. Right. And you should leave that person so that you can get your blessing. You understand? So these Christians are selfish pigs. The reason why they want you to forget about the reason why they constantly telling people it's in the past, why they tell people like us that it's in the past, is because they love our oppression. Right. They dearly love our oppression. And they hate their own people. Right. You understand? Because even the scriptures say you can't serve two masters. Right. You can either love one and hate the other. You understand? So if you out here talking about, oh, there's some good white people, there's some that you won't be the one that's gonna slip the enemy in the camp. And we can't have that. You understand? Now, I want you to read this scripture. This scripture right here is why even no matter what we say or feel, no matter how much we hope and pray that it stays in the past, no matter how much we want to get over it, read this scripture right here.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33.
Go ahead.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
We shall do what?
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
That just makes sense. You know, they don't want to pollute the land. Don't pollute it. If you live in the country, don't pollute it. Don't throw trash on the side of the road. You don't even want to do that at your own house. You know, you don't want to go outside in your front yard and just dump the baby diapers in the driveway. You don't want to do that. You know what I mean? You want to keep your land clean. Keep it looking nice, because that's what's gonna make it a good place to come when you ready to go home. You understand me? Keep it comfortable. You understand? So you don't want to pollute the land you live in. You understand? Read on.
For blood it defileth the land.
Hold on. Read that part again.
Come on, sir. For blood it defileth the land.
You understand? So let me ask you a question. What does it mean? You understand? Why is that important to understand that blood defiles the land? You understand? It's important to understand that. Because we like to think that you can just spill blood and it's just some red liquid that need to be cleaned up. You understand? But here's the deal, right? When Cain killed Abel and the Most High was talking to Cain, what did the Most High say to Cain? Y'all remember? You know? What did he say?
He said, your brother's blood cry out to me from the ground.
You understand? His blood crieth out to the Most High from the ground. You understand? So the blood defiles the land. When you spill blood, that blood cries out to the Lord. You understand?
Come.
Read on.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein.
You understand? So here's the thing. You can't go out here and scrub that ground to clean up that blood. You can't go out here and teach all kinds of lies for hundreds of years in every elementary school, middle school, and high school for 400 years. You understand? And clean up that blood. You can't. It don't matter how many billions of dollars you invest in the greatest cleaning substance. You can get hydrofluoric acid and dump all the bodies of the people that you done murdered in that hydrofluoric acid, and it dissolve everything down to nothing. You understand? That will not cleanse that blood. That does not stop that land from being defiled. You understand? Read that part again. Read it. It says, if the land be defiled by blood, read it again.
Come on, sir. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
By who?
The blood of him that shed it.
So the only way for blood to be cleansed from defiling the earth is it can only be cleansed by the blood of the man that spilled it. So who spilled the blood of the North American Indians? Who spilled it?
President, the so-called Americans of today.
Right. They spilled the blood of the North American Indians. Who spilled the blood of black people during the transatlantic slave trade?
Our oppressors, the so-called Americans today.
Right. Now who spilled the blood of the Hispanics of North Central South America?
Our oppressor, the so-called Americans of today.
Right. So the amount of blood that they spilled, according to this scripture here, is it in the past?
La sir.
It ain't in the past. Why is it not in the past?
Because the land cannot be cleansed.
Right. But go ahead.
Cleansed of the blood that it is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth.
You understand? The one that shed the blood of the North American Indians, the man that shed the blood of the black people in the transatlantic slave trade, the ones who shed the blood of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, those are the ones whose blood has to be shed in order for this land to be clean,
right,
from what our oppressors have done to us. You understand? That's a lot of blood, man.
Come.
That's a lot of blood that was shed. You understand? Now, here's the deal. The white man loves to tell. Here's one thing I've noticed that they never do. They never do this, and they will. I don't think they ever will do it. I think the only time they ever call a white man a terrorist, I think was Timothy McVeigh. Was probably the only white person that I can recall. I mean, what about you? You know of any other white person that was called a terrorist?
Called a terrorist?
I think Timothy McVeigh was the only one.
I can't come to.
Who was the Unabomber? Did they call him a terrorist? I think they did call him a terrorist. But I don't know if they ever caught the Unabomber. The Unabomber might have been Donald Trump. For all we know. You understand? Go ahead.
Yeah, they always, cover it up, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like we was talking about at the beginning of the class, as far as propaganda, you know what I'm saying? Like they always want to, you know what I'm saying, butter up or, say that the person that did all these terrorist acts, that they got a mental issue.
Right. He crazy.
He crazy. Yeah, he crazy. You know what I'm saying? But they always try to, justify that. But on contrary, when a black man kills a black man or the Hispanic kills an Hispanic, oh man, they savages.
Just savages. They just need to be just locked in a cage.
Right.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
and that's heavy that you say that because that's so fitting to what I'm bringing out. Is see, here's the deal. The reason listen, them people sat and watched them Gadite brothers and sisters hand over all their guns. You understand? Can you imagine how much trust you putting in these people to hand over all your guns? The only person that I would hand my gun over to is someone in the UPK. Like if Captain Doc was to be like, hand it over, I'd hand it over. You know what I'm saying? I would get that thing up.
Right.
You understand? But nevertheless, here's the thing. You understand? Like what he was bringing out is so heavy. You know what I mean? Because they always use that tactic against our people.
Right.
You understand? And here's the thing that we need to come out of these Christian churches, and we need to come into the UPK.
Right.
You understand? As a people, we need to understand where we are at right now as a people, who we are being oppressed by. And just as much as they understand the minds of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it's time for us to understand the minds of our oppressor.
Right.
You understand? Because the minds of our oppressor is yikes. You understand? You understand? They sitting around thinking the only good Negro is a dead Negro.
Right.
Meanwhile, you having shots with them at the bar. You understand? Thinking that's your white friend. You understand? When your white friend is the devil, the Bible speaks. You understand? Salaki, I want you to drop that. You understand? We're gonna go to. Gotta move kind of fast. I got a couple scriptures, more scriptures I want to get to. You understand? I want you to go to Isaiah 14:21. You understand? Isaiah 14:21. You understand? Because here's the thing about the past. We cannot forget about the past.
Right.
We have to understand the past, and we have to understand every aspect of the past. Understand why. Because think about it. Without the UPK, we wouldn't know why
Right.
Exactly.
these people committed this act.
Right.
Without the UPK, why did they do it?
Right.
In the mind of a Christian, why did they do it? I want a Christian to answer that question.
Right.
I'm curious to hear what a Christian got to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? I need to go ask some Christians that. You know, why did they kill the Native American Indians in Wounded Knee? The only place you're gonna get an answer for that question is in the UPK.
Right.
You understand? That's go ahead.
It's like, sir, if I could,
Go
but
ahead.
just real quick, I know we're pressed for time. I know you talking about how, you know, like they say, as far as, you know, never forget, of course, this is the quote-unquote memorial of 9/11, you understand?
Right.
And they always, you know what I'm saying, like, as far as make it a big picture to for us to bring back memories of what happened on this particular day,
Right.
whether it's 9/11, whether it's World War I, II, III, and all these memorials, but they don't never say anything about slavery, about what we're bringing out right now.
Right.
As far as no memorial for Trayvon Martin,
Right.
Sandra Bland, or anything of that nature.
Right.
So that just goes back to exactly what you're saying right now, sir. And I just want to bring that out just real quick.
Right. And you know that's heavy. You know that you brought that out. As a matter of fact, you know what I mean. I want to follow that up if I could.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here. And see that's heavy. That hold on. So like, what's the scripture say? This place is not our rest, not our rest.
Not our resting place.
Right.
Let's see. Not our resting place is going to be Micah chapter 2 verse 10.
Go to that scripture for me, Bible Shop. Micah 2 verse 10.
I can't read it. So.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
You understand? It says, arise ye and depart. This don't mean wake up and pack your bags and get up out of there. That ain't what that scripture's saying.
Right.
You understand? What that means is wake up and separate from this country.
Right.
Meaning don't fall and don't follow after what this country does. You understand? Don't get into the spirit of America. Pull your spirit out of America. You understand? Depart from it. Flee from it. Read on.
For this is not your rest.
For this is not your rest. This is not the place where we supposed to be on chill mode. This ain't the place where we supposed to be popping bottles,
Right.
and tricking off on Backpage. This ain't the place for that. You understand? This is the place where we need to get our minds right.
Right.
You understand? Right. You understand? We in a place where we need to get focused. You understand? And we need to understand that we are living under an oppressor that has historically murdered us at the tune of hundreds of millions.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Because it is polluted.
Because it is what?
Polluted.
You understand? Think about that scripture we brought out in Numbers. You understand? This place is polluted. You understand? This place done spilled so much blood. You understand? Everything they don't tell you is about the blood they spilled.
Right.
You understand? Everything they don't tell you. Because everything they tell you is always like 9/11. Oh, they hit us first. Oh, they hit me.
Right.
They hit me, and we're going to war for 20 years over it. You understand? And we're going to make commercials. They remind you every year that they hit me. They hit me. And I say it like that because we were slaughtered.
Right.
You understand? We were murdered. America got hit. Got a slap on the wrist in 9/11. But meanwhile, we lost 100 million people just in the Middle Passage.
Right.
Just getting over here. We died a horrible death on them slave ships.
Right.
You understand? We died a horrible death. You understand? These brothers and sisters, can you imagine watching your kids die, watching your grandkids get shot down, then seeing that your child get shot down, and then you get shot down?
Right.
Can you imagine the minds of what was going through these brothers and sisters' minds as this was happening?
Right.
Watching your whole family tree get picked off. Just watch it just dissolve right before your eyes. You understand? Could you imagine that? The white man's never had to face nothing like that.
Right.
He didn't face that in 9/11. You understand? He didn't lose men, women, and children in 9/11. He wasn't unarmed. You know what I'm saying? He had a whole military that let that happen. That slipped through the cracks. You understand? Like damn. You understand? Every year they remind you, he hit me. You understand? And America is just like the little child that always tattletale when somebody do something to them, but they just terrorizing everybody. You understand? That America is like that child. You know what I'm saying? That's the terrorizer. Let you pop him. Oh, he telling everything. You understand? That's America. You understand? Got bodies, killing the cats and dogs in the neighborhood, but let you take one of his cookies. Oh, he telling. You understand? But yet, we are every day as black men are forced to sit there and watch all the commercials, all the news stories, all the beautiful animations that come up on the screen, and watch the planes fly through the air with the red, white, and blue smoke coming out the tailpipe, you know, glorifying all the people the first responders of 9/11. But black people, we can't even stand on the corner and talk about our oppression on a microphone.
Right.
You understand? We can't even post the videos on YouTube talking about our oppression.
Right.
You understand? And then when we talk about it to our own people, they don't even want to hear it half the time.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction.
You understand? It shall destroy you. You understand? It destroys you when you join your oppressors. You understand? That it destroys you. How does it destroy you? It destroys you because you no longer are even like if you focus so hard on building your oppressor's kingdom, then you do nothing, then you hurt your own kingdom.
Right.
You understand? You become destroyed because of that. Because you don't have nothing to fall back on. You don't have a people to go back to.
Right.
You understand? Like think about that movie Django. You understand? Samuel L. Jackson character.
Right.
That's a prime example of this scripture right here. You understand? When it says that says because it's polluted, it shall destroy you. You understand? Depart from her. Depart from her. You understand? Samuel L. Jackson is all in. He like, I ain't departing nothing.
Right.
I'm in this. I love Mr. Candy. I die for Mr. Candy. And you know what happened? He ended up suffering the same fate right along with him. You want to know why you're going to be destroyed? Because of Numbers 35 and 33. Because this land is defiled by blood. And it can only be cleansed by the blood of him that spilled it.
Right.
So if you sit there and serve this land, then guess what? That blood might as well be on your hands too.
Right.
You understand? You would accomplish. Think about it. You know, if you got 3 homeboys, right? Or 4 homeboys or whatever, you know, and one of them killed the other one, but the other one, he gave him a ride. And then walked in there and shot him and then gave him a ride home. Guess what? That might have been your homeboy too, but now you an accomplice to your homeboy murder.
Right.
So your hand guilty, your hand got blood on it too. You understand?
Okay.
So you sit there and you want to try to join this society when this society is all about the uplifting of white America. It is all about it. It's all about the preservation of white lives. In America, white lives matter. Black lives do not. Hispanic lives do not. You understand? And no matter how many times we scream and yell it walking down the street playing the banjo. I remember we had camp in Charlotte that time. They had that protest, that Black Lives Matter. That was the most disappointing protest. I never seen Black Lives Matter in real life prior to that point. When I seen that, I only seen maybe 2 black people, and all these devils was out there playing, and sodomites was out there playing ukuleles, playing the drums. They out there. There's a parade going on. Like it looked like a gay parade. And then as the night got lower, them same devils went out there trashing Charlotte, busting windows out, looting and doing whatever they. It was almost like it was organized. Like, oh, y'all only loot in this area. Go ahead.
And if I could, just real quick, some of the founders of Black Lives Matters are bulldaggers.
Oh yeah, bulldaggers.
Just straight bulldaggers. So that can just give you a visual of what they all. Pretty much what they all about.
Yeah.
Joining hand in hand. Just like you were saying, of course, you only see like a few actual black people out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not Black Lives Matter. That's more so of American Matters.
Right. American Matters.
All lives matter.
All right. Black Lives Matter is all lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'd be damned for hey, a lot of brothers will say Black Lives Matter, but then when they actually see the leaders of Black Lives Matter,
right.
It's like they stick with the slogan. It's not the organization.
Right.
You know what I mean? They be like, oh, this nigga over here don't speak for me. Excuse me, sweet tart. You need to go on somewhere with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But see, here's the thing though. If you are a black man and you really feel like and you really love your people, following organizations like Black Lives Matter, following the Christian church, following the Nation of Islam, following any other religion, all these fake religions, all they do is somehow, some way lead you to loving the other nations.
Right.
Like even Rastafarians. I don't know how to properly pronounce it. Rastafarianism. Is that close? So that's the best I'm gonna get. So like Rastafarianism. They worship Haile Selassie. And he's an Ethiopian, a Hamite. You understand? The Nation of Islam. They worship that dude Fard Muhammad. And he was an Edomite, I believe. You understand? And even Islam. They worship Muhammad, who was an Arab. Hindu, they worship that 4-armed blue Indian woman. You understand? I don't know if it's 4. It's like 8 arms.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Even the Buddhists worship Asian god, and the Africans. I don't know. I don't know if they worship anything. It's like, I think they just wake up, take take piss and doo-doo showers. You know what I mean? And eat dookie chips. You know what I mean? They don't eat chocolate chip cookies at the African restaurant because they smell a little funky. You know what I mean? But the Africans, even they don't worship. Well, a lot of Africans today is worshiping white Jesus, like,
right?
You know what I mean? It's hilarious watching. You want some good laughs? Look up African Christian Church. Look that up.
This boy be grass.
Yeah.
You ever seen that one when dude came in on the dude back on his shoulders? He was carrying him in on his shoulders.
I ain't seen that.
Oh man.
I seen the one with his brother. I call him a brother, but the Hamite talking about he got God on speed dial on the phone, talking about he talking to God. Who's that God? Who's that Jesus? Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You got him on FaceTime.
got Jesus Christ on FaceTime. Like, come on, man. Like, hey, you want some good laughs? Look up that African Christian Church.
Wow.
But the point I'm trying to make about all that is, all these religions, if it's not the UPK under Commander General YAHANNA, where we teach the Bible, we teach out of the 1611 King James Version Bible. If you ever notice, like, you got even fake Israelite groups that's out here teaching they teach whatever, tassels, the fringes on t-shirts, that you can't have sex on the Sabbath. They teach all. They sitting in the house, bored, cold, lonely, hungry. Like, damn, baby, you make them sandwiches yesterday before the sun went down? My Lord. Damn, we like we struggling this Sabbath. We just gonna sit here and look at the wall all night. I don't know what they got going on. All I know is thank the Most High for the UPK.
Right.
Because if you pay attention to every religion, and even these fake Israelite groups, somehow, I'll never forget, Commander General YAHANNA said it, and it stuck with me since he said it. But somehow, some way, they all lead you to somehow loving the other nations.
Right.
Because look at like the GOCC, they had Edomites at the Passover. Damn. Like, how low can you go? Like, at the Passover, you celebrate. Hey, that's like with Soulja Boy, like, Dre. At the Passover, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, the Passover spiritually is about you celebrating what the Lord is going to do when He delivers us out of America.
Right.
You understand? What did He do can you imagine the Passover? Oh, you Egyptian? Come on in. Moses letting the Egyptians come break bread with just put the stuff over your door. You know what I mean? Just like how we do, you do. You know what I mean? That wasn't how the Passover went down.
Right.
Passover wasn't about Israelites having a meal with the Hamites. It was about us doing what the Lord said and Him shielding us from the destruction that He brought down on the Egyptians.
Right.
You understand? Which is going to be no different than what He going to do this time around. He going to destroy our oppressors, as He always has. You understand? As He did in ancient Egypt, as He did in Assyria, as He did in Babylon, He gonna destroy all of our oppressors.
Right.
You understand? And here's the deal.
Right.
Every nation on this earth has played a part in our oppression. Every nation. That's why David said they are confederate against thee. You understand? Every nation. The Hamites, they did. They was going in. They was the SEAL teams that they sent in to capture us. You understand? And then they took us to them, and then they took us over across the water. A lot of black people, and this is the thing. A lot of people, a lot of Christians, like they like to say, "Oh, we're not Israelites, we Africans." And then they be like, "Well, where did they question like, well, where they pick us up from?" And then most people be like, "Well, they got us from Africa, so we Africans." But here's the thing: most slaves that came to America didn't even come out of Africa. most slaves came from Russia. That's what I don't hear. I don't hear ain't no Russian scholars popping up in the hood. No,
Right.
I don't, they talk about Kemet and pharaohs, but I don't see nobody drinking vodka, making borscht. You understand?
Right.
I don't hear nobody claiming to be Russians, the original Russians, but yeah, more of us came from Russia than Africa.
Right.
And a lot of us came from Western Europe. You understand?
Right.
And see, the ones of us that came out of Western Europe and Russia, see, we were actually taken from those lands, and it was a process, like a business. It was run like a business, like a transport business. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how they train. They got 1 million bricks from California, and they got to get 1 million bricks from California to New York. This is all the process of how they gonna get them bricks from California to New York. We need 10 trucks, we need an airplane, we needed this, we needed that. And so they organized it. And West Africa, what they call the slave coast, that was basically the warehouse, the temporary housing unit of slaves before they was brought across the water. So it was taken from Europe, taken into West Africa, taken from Russia, taken into West Africa, and taken from West Africa in different parts of the world, and taken to West Africa, and then shipped to America. You understand? So it was a process. It was a lot. It was a lot deeper than just saying, the white man didn't just pull up on the shore and be like, "Is those niggers over there?" and then just capture a nigga and be like, "Where's some more niggas at?" That ain't how it went down. You understand? It was an organized effort because they knew exactly who they were targeting in the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? They knew exactly who they were targeting. Like when they one of the first group of people to get brought into slavery was the Gullah people. They specifically knew that they were part of the tribe of Judah, and they specifically knew that these people were one of the best rice growers in the world at that time. And so they took them from where they were at in Africa and brought them into through the process into West Africa and into Charleston. And they grew all of the rice in Charleston. You understand? They grew what's called Carolina Gold. It was one of the biggest products outside of cotton. You understand? Sold in the world. You understand? So like, what's the time?
10:07.
10:07. All right, so we got any questions? All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the class. Next week, I'm going to continue the topic, actually, and get into some more situations involving the North American Indians.
There's still a lot more we need to come out of this one.
Let me see that. Oh, yeah, we didn't get to all of it. Yeah, we didn't get to that part.
Don't come.
Yeah, that matter of fact, I thought that part was a lot earlier. This goes a little more in detail. Yeah, so we're gonna get some more of that next week. No more questions? You got any questions in the room? All right. Shalom.